Hello, good evening. I'm Valerie Pitts, and the last time I was here in this studio, Studio A at the Television Centre, was in March 1965, and despite modern technology, it hasn't changed at all. We were the girls of the early 60s, of 405 lines and black and white television. Colour television hadn't arrived, although we did take part in colour television tests which happened after close down at Lime Grove Studios in the middle of the night. Satellite television was just beginning, and so there was no question of having a live on-the-spot report from our man or woman in wherever it was. I was fortunate enough to be on duty when the first live pictures arrived from America via Goonhilly Downs, and again when Yuri Gagarin emerged from his spacecraft. They were very exciting days for us all. Well, amongst this evening's programmes are three which started in the 1960s. The Z-Cars, which began in 1962, the Royal Ballet performance of Stravinsky's The Firebird with Nadia Narina and Diane Bergsma, and Monty Python's Flying Circus, which started in 1969. Also this evening there'll be the Generation Game and Dennis Potter's prize-winning play Blue Remembered Hills. But also there'll be an extra item which isn't in Radio Times, and to me personally it'll be the highlight of this evening's programmes because it's the first thing I ever saw on a television set. It's the epic short film about a train journey, London to Brighton in 4 minutes, and that will be at 7:25 immediately after Z-Cars. But to start, the panel game of all panel games, What's My Line, with Gilbert Harding, Isabel Barnett, Barbara Kelly, Cyril Fletcher, introduced, of course, by Eamon Andrews.
What's My Line? Welcome. Let's meet the panel again. Here we go. Cyril Fletcher. Hello. Isabel Barnett.
Hello.
Barbara Kelly. And Gilbert Harding. Now, as you know, they've got to try and guess the lines or jobs of various people. 10 honest no's, and the challengers have beaten the panel. Would our first challengers sign in, please?
Honest nose, remember.
They're always honest nose. Here we have Mrs. Mary Walsh. On the nose. Mary, and welcome. Where do you come from?
Well, Battersea.
Battersea.
Yes.
Ah, you do now. Would you do a little piece of mime, please?
Oh, it's pretty.
Thank you. That was very good. You're not tired, are you? No. Now, we're going to show you at home what Mrs. Mary Walsh, believe it or not, does for a living. All right, this time we start with Barbara Kelly. The only free piece of information you have is that Mary is wage earning.
Good evening, Mrs. Wolf. Your mime looked like you were doing a Christmas fairy on top of a Christmas tree, but you weren't because they didn't applaud.
No.
Wage earning. Do you work inside, Mrs. Walsh?
Inside, yes.
With other people?
No, not with other people.
Goodbye.
No, wait a minute. Aren't there other people with you there working? No?
Not always.
No, you do this strictly on your own.
One going, yeah.
Splendid. One gone.
In a little cubicle. Goodbye.
Now, Battersea, I always hope to get some information out of this. Battersea, anything to do with the fun fair?
Not particularly, no.
No.
Could be in it, well, not particularly that part of the fun fair, no. Not particularly the fun fair or any fair.
No. Will you be inclined to give him a no or just a half a yes? Which?
No, not particularly the fun fair.
No, okay, that's two gone, Mary. Fair enough. Not particularly the fun fair. Now, Cyril Fletcher.
Hello, Mrs. Walsh. Your mime seemed to be more of a trance to me than a mime.
That was you.
Sort of sleepwalking and that. Is there an end product concerned?
Yes,
And you work entirely on your own?
yes,
Could I use this end product?
you could.
Could Lady Barnett use it?
Yes.
So we could all use your end product. Would we be better for it?
Yes. I think so, dear.
Oh, I do definitely think so, yes.
Is it something that one wears, perhaps?
No.
No. 3 gone. You don't wear this end product.
Is it something that can be consumed?
Yes.
Eaten or drunk? Drunk.
No.
No. 4 gone.
I'm sorry. Mrs. Walsh, is it something that you could buy, in fact, if you were at the fun fair? Although it isn't Switches.
Yes.
It is fun fair, in other words.
Yes.
Is it something that kids love?
Yes.
Now we have to get.
Don't start.
We
You
have to
ask
get
a question.
hot dogs.
No.
Or candy floss.
6
Or
gone. That's 6 now.
toffee apples.
7 gone.
Let me out of candy floss. You're an ice lolly lady.
No. 8 gone. And no talking on the panel.
You didn't say anything.
I'm sorry, but
You said it
Miss Kelly
instead.
was working very hard there.
She's not an ice lolly lady.
Are you a nice lolly lady?
No.
No.
Ooh.
Cyril.
Is this in the nature of an extra? It's not sort of like a main meal. It's something one has.
It's
as an
not a
extra.
main meal.
It's not a
Bridges
main
the
meal.
gap.
Oh.
Which program are you on?
So is some kind of sweet meat, perhaps?
Not necessarily sweet meat. Not necessarily.
It's what?
Not necessarily a sweet meat, no.
No. Does that mean we give him a no?
No, not necessarily sweet, no.
No.
What I do is not sweet.
Not what she does is not sweet.
She pops the popcorn.
I've never seen corn more beautifully popped. A wonderful gesture.
There's only 1 to go, Mary, I'm sorry to say, and you were popped on it.
I'm
yes.
awfully
What-
sorry, because where do you come from before Battersea?
Glasgow.
I thought
Glasgow.
so.
Who
what
has
you-
a sour popcorn, anyway?
They have a salt pop.
Oh, yes, the salt.
Can I have
Yeah.
a salt
Yeah.
popcorn? Oh, I'm
What
sorry.
exactly were you doing, Mary, in this trance you were in coming in? What was involved?
Well, I was deciding about Battersea because we sell it all over. I do it all over.
Ah, no, I don't mean that. That was with Mr. Harding. Never mind him. I mean, before that, what what were you doing in your mime?
Oh, I was popping corn.
Well, of course you were. How are you doing it? How is it done?
Oh, in the machine I was doing it, I was putting it in and just taking it and giving a sample to them.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
They
What was
don't
that
bite
last
before they
bit?
have a sample.
No, oh, no, I wouldn't sit down for to give them a
That was, she was waiting for it to pop.
sample.
that right?
Now I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave you a sample.
When I see that Statue of Liberty on from now on, I'll know
Yes.
what it is. Waiting for it to pop.
Popcorn. Thank you, Mary. Sorry you didn't beat him. Nice to have you with us. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, well, it's 1 to the panel, just by 1 no. So we'll ask our next challengers to sign in, please. We have Mr. Nicholas and Timothy Dawson. Now, who's going to do the mime? I think I did shorten the names a bit. What are the full names?
Mine's Andrew James Nicholas, Timothy Miles Edward.
Andrew James Nicholas and Timothy Miles Edward. Splendid. Now, where do you come from? Stop that, Barbara. Where do you come from?
Chichester in Sussex.
Chichester and Sussex. Well, whoever's going to mime, would you mime? That's fine. Thank you. Barbara's already gone for 6, but however, never mind.
Gone for 12. There's 2 of them.
12. Yes. Right. Well, now, coming up on your screens is what, if I may shorten it, Nicholas and Timothy Dawson do for a living. Now, this question, I think, belongs to Gilbert, isn't it? Yes, and they're salaried, Gilbert.
Salaried, and they're twins, I assume.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, you didn't think you were saying double now, did you?
No. Do you act severally or in?
Which way do you want the question?
Do you act together, as it were?
Yes, we do.
Do you? May I have a little double-barrel conference here?
No.
Will you tell us afterward?
That's,
They don't act together.
I mean, they might be in the same area or on the same job, but as it's done, each one does it separately. Isn't that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So they act separately then.
conferences is they all
Separately and separately.
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 How do you do, Mrs. Dawson?
How do you do?
If it interests you, my second name is Trevelyan. I'm Cyril Trevelyan. Yes, I laugh at it too. Is there an end product concerned in what you do?
Yes.
Now, I think what Mr. Fletcher, or Trevelyan, I mean, means is in the sense of a manufactured article.
No, 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 but of course not.
That's 4 no's you've just said yourself. Do you not? All right, then they've said yes. You carry on, then.
Do you then give a service?
Yes.
Oh, that was rather crafty, wasn't it? Don't know what it is. I wish you'd tell us the jobs and then we'd tell you how long they've been on strike. Is it anything to do with Chichester? In any way?
No.
Like boats or anything?
No.
That's 2 gone. Not before its time. Isabel
The
Bond.
service with a joint end product. Is it anything at all, do you or could you work out of doors?
Yes.
Is it anything at all to do with the land and what lives on it?
What's left?
Not very much, but just give me a broad yes and I'll go on from there.
No, it isn't.
Oh, what a pity. It's a
In the
broad
sense you
no.
mean, 3 gone.
Good evening, Mrs. Dawson. I'm not going to ask if it's something that has to do with the land that's and people, the things that lie under it. Is the service a luxury service rather than a necessity?
I think it's a necessity.
No.
You've got 2 minds
The
being
answer is
made up.
no, anyhow. It doesn't matter what you meant. It's no.
No is the...
I'm glad you're not twins.
Not a luxury.
That it is not a luxury, in our opinion. It is
Not
a
a
necessity.
luxury service, therefore a necessity. Therefore it comes in to do with betting or gaming.
No.
Are you insurance agents?
No.
No?
No, I should be giving you 2 no's every time here, but I'm giving you 1. 5 gone. Cyril Fletcher.
Is it anything to do with food?
No.
Not directly. That's 6 gone. Isabel Bond.
I got confused. It
Good.
says 2 minds without a single thought. That's what I They do work out of doors, yes, we've established that.
You have.
It's nothing to do with the land and it is a necessity. Is there anything at all to do with the sea?
No.
No. I'm happy to say that your own phrasing of one particular question has set you astray. Barbara Kelly.
Get back to the land, not what grows on it. I mean,
Or under it, or above it. Sirs, do you travel? Or one of you? Could you travel?
Yes.
Can I address one of the men?
Yes. Which is Timothy?
Yes.
This is Timothy
Tim.
and this is Nicholas, so you pick your own.
Tim, do you travel
I do, yes.
in the course of your service?
All the
Yes.
answers will be the same, I assure you of that.
Nicholas
Although we
doesn't
said
look as though he
separately,
agrees with
the
him.
answers will be equal.
Well, we got a trio with you here. Could you travel and do this service for Mr. Harding?
No.
Thank you. No, that's 8 gone.
The phrase or the question which is alleged to have misled us is, do you work out of doors? Could you work indoors as well?
Yes.
And you're not anything to do with insurance, but do you demonstrate anything?
Yes.
Then I suggest that you're a salesman.
No.
Neither of you got
Am I-
permanent waves.
In 9 gone. In some ways, that I would think that would have been accurate, but not in the way you mean it. No, 1 gone.
No. What do they do?
This time I'm going to pick Nick. Is it anything to do with agricultural machinery?
No, sir, it isn't. No.
That's 10 gone, and both
Yes.
Nick and Tim have beaten you. We have got to give out two certificates. They are salesmen, but salesmen of knowledge, I suppose. In fact, we're now meeting Gilbert.
Encyclopedia.
Yes.
No. Two
Animal
schoolmasters.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes?
Oh, we should have got you.
Well, Gilbert should have got it anyhow.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the intelligent one, isn't he?
What do you teach?
I didn't mean that.
Everything, quite a few things.
I mean, I know you teach children.
Everything?
Quite a few things, anyway.
But the outdoors got you away because, in fact, they're involved with games as well and taking teams out.
Yeah.
But
You don't teach in the same school, I hope.
Yes, we do.
You must be very battling with the boys.
But it's the other way around. It's usually battling for the masters when they've got twins. What fun for the boys.
Barbara's thinking it must be very battling for the girls, but we won't go into that now.
We don't teach girls any good.
Oh, there are, no, I didn't mean the girls.
Not badly. Always pleasant.
How long have you been teaching together, so to speak?
A year.
A year. But you have both been teaching for much longer than that.
6 years, yeah.
6 years. They don't even show it, you see. There you are. Well, I'm glad you beat the panel. Oh, in your mind, what were you doing?
I was looking at an exercise book and putting it away.
Splendid. Well, certificates and duplicates, and thank you for joining us on What's My Line.
Very good. Very sweet.
Well, that makes the score 1-1. We'll ask our next very attractive challenger to sign in, please. She is Mrs. Sheila Baldwin. That's it, Sheila. Now, will you tell us where you come from? Rotherham. Good. And if you'll give them a little bit of name. Yes, that's fair. Now, if you'll go in a chair, that's right. Now, coming up on your screens is what Sheila Baldwin does for a living.
Funny.
I love sitting next to blondes. Now, I think it's Cyril, isn't it, next? I get so confused now with our change.
How do you do,
wage
Mr.
earning,
Baldwin?
Cyril.
Do you give a service?
Yes.
And they roared with laughter, didn't they? So obviously your looks belie what you do. Has it anything to do with transport?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
Yes. It looked to me as if you were a clippy.
No.
That's assuming we know what you mean. The answer is no. That's one gone.
Is transport your whole job or only part of it?
Wait, what?
I beg your pardon. Is transport your whole job?
It's very difficult. Could you maybe rephrase that? We wouldn't know how to answer that.
Well, I was thinking of the difference.
No fishing. Just rephrase the question.
He's very strict.
Am I right in thinking that you don't travel on the transport that you're concerned with?
No.
Oh, you
No. After all that involvement,
After all
no.
that.
Good evening, Mrs. Baldwin. Then you do travel on the transport in which
Well
you
done.
were in. Well, that's clever. Now, is it public transport, Mrs. Baldwin?
No.
It's
No,
not.
three
Goodbye,
gone.
Mrs. Baldwin.
I'm so confused by this double negative. You do, in fact, travel on means of transport on which and by which you are employed.
You better say yes. It's the
Yes.
easiest way out.
And you appear to me to be pressing a button.
Yes.
You are, I suggest, a driver's mate and you're tipping up the lorry.
No.
That's four gone.
Pity.
It is private transport, but it's used by some members of the public, is it? Like a school bus, I mean.
To the first question, is it used by members of the public?
No.
No. Is it a school bus?
No.
That's six gone. Isabel Barnett.
Let's go back to the beginning and make certain it is private transport.
Yeah, well, it's not public transport anyhow. It's not in the sense. It's not public transport. Excuse me.
It isn't really transport
Amen.
at all, in other words.
Any
Think we're-
excuse for a
Wait now,
huddle?
wait now. Sheila thinks we're misleading you a little bit.
Oh,
Excuse
well,
me.
that's splendid. You work
Cut
this
it out.
one out.
I'm jealous.
Oh, come on, tell me what...
Stop it.
Second time.
Oh, no, of course it's not. No, they're misleading themselves.
Can we dance?
We're not misleading you. No, Sheila's worried about us misleading you, but you're misleading yourselves. That's
Oh,
what...
sure, we always are. Well, to get on with the misleading one stage further, does this thing move?
Yes.
Oh, splendid. Doesn't really take us very much further, does it? May take you much further, but not us. Is it something large? Like a...
Like a what?
I didn't say a word. Is it something like a bulldozer? You know, a crane
In
or something.
size? We're going to send the audience home before the next challenger signs in.
Could we go home too?
So what are you saying?
She's a crane driver.
Yes? You've got more than halfway anyhow, Sheila. Yes.
She's a jolly nice crane
What
driver.
does this crane of yours do?
Well, I work in the steel works, and it lifts the bars and things off the machines, you know, to send out onto other...
Sort of red hot
Departments.
bars of steel.
She doesn't need the
Well,
crane.
no,
The
they're
bars
not
give
hot when
themselves
I
up.
handle them, but they are when
When they
go
come
through
out of the mill.
process, you
It's a
know.
creature that moves in predestinate grooves. In fact, not a bus, but a tram. It goes to and fro, and she presses it, and it does its work. What an extraordinary thing.
Thank you, Sheila. Well done. Thank you. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
you'll give me that. Sheila Baldwin, crane driver, just didn't beat the panel, but how nice to have had her with us. Now we come to our celebrity spot, and here as you know, the rules are different. They have to guess who the person is, and for that reason we ask them to put on the masks. When you're all finished having a little chit-chat there, would you? That's right. Now, would our celebrity sign in, please? Thank you, Mr. Celebrity. If you would take a seat there. First question belongs to Isabel Bonnet.
Mr. Celebrity, do you entertain the public?
Yeah.
Oh.
Barbara?
When you entertain the public, sir, do you and can you appear before it rather than behind the scenes?
Yep.
Yep.
So you appear before the public, so you want to film...
That doesn't mean he doesn't also appear behind the scenes.
Well, I didn't gather that. Sorry. He said he didn't.
No, he didn't. He said he does appear before the public.
Are you a film actor, sir?
No.
That's one gone.
Are you a comic gentleman? No.
Two gone.
Are you an actor without the film? Stop.
No.
Not a legitimate actor in the sense that I think you mean the question. Barbara Kelly.
You are
ask
not
it.
Gary Cooper.
No.
That means yes with her not.
I'm confused about this question being a legitimate actor or not. Are you primarily, or they say primarily, a comedian?
No.
No.
That's four gone.
We've got to decide whether you're principally films or stage. Are you stage principally?
I guess not.
I guess not, too. It's very hard to so many divisions. Isabel Bonnet.
Are you, in fact, then not an actor at all, but in some other form of show business?
Yeah.
But you do appear before the public, so are you, well, let me take a guess. Could you be a musician?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't hear the answer.
Yep.
Yep.
Yup
Oh,
and
yep.
no sounds like.
And your mastery of the American idiom is so imperfect as to make me suggest that you are in fact an Englishman. Are you an Englishman?
I guess I am.
You guess you are. In other words, you are. Yes, yes. He's an Englishman.
Have we established that you're an instrumentalist?
You have only established music.
Oh, are you an instrumentalist? You know, sort of piano or violin or cello or...
I have been.
You have been.
Did you get
Oh.
fired or something?
Oh, that voice
Oh, I
gives
know
it
that.
away. Yes. he dropped that North Americanism. You're that well-known leader of the band of Strict Tempo. Mr. Victor Sylvester.
Yes, it is Victor Sylvester.
I'm afraid I gave that away, did I?
There you are. No, you did very well. You got up to
As long as you stuck
got
to
halfway anyhow.
you were all right.
Well, there you are. First time we've had the honor of having Victor Sylvester with us on What's My Line. I'm surprised he got away so long, as a matter of fact, with 5 no's. Strict Tempo.
All those North Americanisms that upset us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know what other accent to adopt.
I feel exactly the same way.
Yours is very good.
Well, we'll have a Charleston lesson then.
I suppose if one did pick up an accent anyhow, anywhere, that Victor's accent is probably known in more corners of the world than any other accent on the radio, apart from what he does on television. There's no doubt
All
about
those things that go to Tanganyika,
Everywhere.
and Baton Rouge.
You open a door anywhere, and you hear Victor Sylvester. It's marvelous. And your television program, Television Dancing Club, that of itself holds a record, Victor, doesn't it?
So I understand, yes.
There he is. It's, as I understand it, is the longest running television series in the world, going on since 1947.
Oh,
Yes.
And somebody, since I won't mention commercial names like Columbia or whatever it is, somebody's going to present you with a platinum disc because you've just completed how many millions of records?
Over 30 now, 30 million.
30 million, you mean? Yeah. On these programs that we hear at all sorts of hours of the morning and the night and so on, you get requests from all over the world. Have you had any requests that might have been difficult or unusual that you can remember, Victor?
Oh, yeah, well, I suppose a few. Some of them, I suppose the most amusing ones to me are the way they spell my name. I get letters that come in addressed to Victor Slyvester, Victor Sillyvester. In fact, I had a very great compliment paid me the other day. One came to the BBC from Africa and it was addressed to Victor Silver Star.
Well, you've given a great deal of pleasure to many millions of people whom you've never even met but who know you, and long may it continue.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You look very young and healthy on a very nice day.
Well, thank you, Victor Sylvester. Now we'll ask our last challenger to sign in, please. And this will be in the nature of a quickie to see how adept you are. Peter Price. Where do you come from? Bramley, Hampshire, a little piece of mine. Yes, good mine. Now, if you'll sit yourself, Peter, from Bramley in Hampshire, coming up on the screen is what he does for a living. First question with Isabel Barnett for this one, and we tell you he's wage earning.
Is something made where you work?
No.
One gone. You have to be really quick on this one.
Sorry, Mr. Price, so it's a service. You seem to be doing something with something that was made. Is that in fact true? Some kind or form of machinery?
Yes.
This service, would it help us to know what kind of machinery this is to find out what service you perform?
Not really.
No. Two gone. What I'm going to do is just keep ticking over no's. You ask your questions in order, as many as you like.
You're something to do with the Lord Mayor's banquet.
No.
Oh.
Was it a kind of press that you were doing? No.
Anything to do with transport?
Indirectly.
Transport that runs on wheels?
No.
Mr. Price, can you do this service outside?
Yes.
Can you travel?
Yes.
Can you meet ordinary members of the public?
No.
He's beaten the panel. 10 gone. No, but you're getting warm. He has won against time. Would you mind telling us what, in fact, you do for a living?
Well, in fact, I fuel-guided missiles.
You what?
Fuel-guided missiles.
Guided missiles. We have, in fact, a picture of a film of Peter at work fueling a guided missile, and we, in fact, are able to see the guided missile go off. I wish we'd an awful lot more time to talk about it, but here he is at what's that coming down there? That's the fuel, is it?
That's the fuel, yes, after it's been put into the tank.
No fuel like a deal.
And this is you being sprayed.
Cleaned down after work.
It's a little early for Father Christmas, isn't it?
And there she goes. And then right here is a pal of yours, Jim Belk, who is... Hi, no speak. This is exactly how you're dressed when you do this work, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
We'd recognize you anywhere.
Yes. In fact, Peter Price, who has beaten the panel, is Staff Sergeant Peter Price, and this is Sergeant Jim Belk, who's there in the rig-out that's necessary for this, and you really are, in fact, an ammunition examiner. This is
Yes.
one of the things you're doing,
That's
isn't
right,
it?
yes.
Well, there's so many things, but between Spaceman here and and Peter, we've just no time to say more. We've got to close our program with thanks to Peter Price, to our celebrity Victor Sylvester, all our challengers. It's good night from Cyril Fletcher, Isabel Barnett, Barbara Kelly, and Gilbert Harding. The time has flown. How nice to have had you with us. We'll be back at 8:15 next Sunday. Till then, goodbye. Sorry, Inspector Gallup.
Well, Eamon, I'm afraid you won't be back next Sunday. But you might like to know that this book, BBC Television Presents a 50th Anniversary Celebration, tells the story from the birth of television right up to today's full-colour networks. Containing many pictures, photographs and mementos of favourite programmes, it's now available and the price is £4.99. And one other way of savouring memories from 50 years of television is to visit a video spectacular now showing at the Commonwealth Institute in London. Organised by the Royal Television Society, the Golden Box employs 73 screens and the latest technology to create a kaleidoscope of moving pictures which tell the story of the small screen from John Logie Baird's tiny studio of the 1920s through to the present day. And our celebrations of TV's 50th anniversary continue in about 3 minutes when we join the Newtown Police, once more patrolling the streets of Liverpool's suburbs in Z-cars. But before that, a classic break in the form of one of those interludes from yesteryear. Not the potter's wheel this time, but the spinning wheel. The wheels of the conveyor belt start turning in an hour here on BBC Two, once Bruce Forsyth and Anthea Redfern have put more unsuspecting family couples through their paces, en route to the cuddly toy or a vital piece of kitchen equipment. Taking to the wheel now, we've the Liverpudlian police patrolling the streets of Newtown, in an even earlier episode than the one shown in Radio Times. From 1964, we present Z-Cars.